Are you in a hurry? If so, let me answer the most pressing question with a clear yes. Yes, you can parry all of Verdugo's attacks, and yes, theoretically, you can beat this fight only equipped with a knife and pistol, with no damage taken. And before I forget, I recommend to turn off your in-game background music, as it makes the fight at least 5 times more tense than it actually is. Also, I personally lowered my overall game volume so I could focus on the knife parries a little easier. I recommend you do the same. Alright, with that out of the way, welcome to my small guide on beating Verdugo without using the liquid nitrogen showers, which is called Too Cool for Such Tricks challenge. First, a word of caution. If you pull any nitrogen shower lever, you will not be able to get the challenge, even if you do so way before Verdugo shows up. Or in other words, even if you've never frozen him with nitrogen, the fact that you pull the lever makes the game count towards total nitrogen uses, and thus prevents you from earning the challenge. That's what happened to me on my first successful run that I'm about to show. Secondly, think about what difficulty you want to do this on. I recommend normal or assisted if you plan way ahead. Maybe you want to take out the Silent Stranger challenge, for which you aren't allowed to talk to the merchant, or the No Heal challenge, etc. If that's the case, I recommend just purchasing the RPG. Make sure to use the Leon with the rocket launcher discount charm, or bring a golden egg from the lake with you for an easy one-shot fight. At least I believe that the golden egg should take out most of his HP anyway. Now if you are like me, and you're already stuck in this checkpoint and you want to fight him regardless, be my guest, because that's exactly what I did on my hardcore playthrough. The only noteworthy stuff I brought in my loadout was one fully upgraded knife. The combat knife that you have from the beginning of the game, which was, roughly, upgraded halfway. Aside from that, some pistol and shotgun ammo, plus some spare boot knives. And that's essentially it. Good. Now with this 2-minute introduction and 99% of all potential viewers gone, let's dive right into it. So you turn on the power and he shows up in this spot? The first phase is relatively short, as he runs away once you deal a little bit of damage. I'm not sure about the specific threshold, but it could be somewhere between 10 and 20% of his maximum HP. Sometimes he sticks around a little longer, sometimes a little less. I'm not sure if there is a set timer. Okay, so here is move number 1. He crouches down a bit and does what I like to call the scorpion stinger, where he uses his tail and aims for your head. If you're standing some distance away, as I do right here, it's best to try to parry it instead of ducking. Crouching only ever works if you are close to him as he does the move. This is one of 2 pretty bullshitty moves, and the fact that he hits me back to back makes me want to reload my save file already. Let's look at this closely. First mistake. I crouch although I am standing too far away from him, hence why he hit me right through my skull. Then the fast triple hit combo tail whip. Notice how I managed to parry only 1 out of 3 swings? Yeah, this one is tough. Don't worry, however, in the place where we will choose to fight him, he will almost never use that attack again. You can probably block all of the damage with some godly timing, but if you mash your ready knife parry button, you might block as much as half of it, which is good enough in my book. Aside from that, he does these claw swings that are fairly predictable once you get the hang of it. Lastly, there is a simple leg up and down swipe that is also fairly easy to predict. Here, you can see we have a super short exchange and he already pisses off. Now, I look at my health here and I'm like, this run is dead in the water. But I attempt it anyway. And thank God I did. Naturally, after you turn on the power, your objective might be this hidden treasure to the left of the hallway here. This is also my recommended spot to fight him, because this narrow environment limits his moves set down to only 4 moves, which makes it much easier to parry and counterattacks in my opinion. Beware that he attacks a total of 3 times through the ceiling, once before you enter the side room, 1 time before the chest, and once more after you're done looting. Walk back and get into position, and there he is again. Okay, so this is bullshit move number 3. To be fair, you can actually evade this if you're able to anticipate it. So let's have a look in slow motion. What I gathered is that if you run backwards, meaning away from him, you get an evade prompt with whatever you evade key is. In my case, that would be E, which is the default for crouching on keyboard. Secondly, it's no big deal if he pins you down like this. Just mash out. By the way, just one final detour before we get to the fight. About breaking out of holds. There is a setting under controls that allows you to turn repeated tapping into holding down the button to break free out of whatever pin attack. In my experience, and I admit I only did limited testing on this. However, in my experience, holding down is significantly slower than mashing for breaking out. If that is the case, you can actually start mashing your button way before the button prompt shows up on screen, and the result is that you break free almost instantly. You see there? My meter was filled to at least 75% before it even showed up, which allowed me to break free with minimal damage and no knives wasted. This is especially important for this fight because we need all the knives we can hold to parry his attacks. This is probably one of the hardest attacks to parry, where he falls back on his hands and does a tail attack, because it comes out immediately as he bends over, which makes it super hard to time. I'm not sure if I ever managed to parry that one in all of my attempts. Fortunately for us, he doesn't do that move very often if we keep him in this spot here. There is another Scorpion Stinger attack, which realistically should have hit us. By all means, unload all ammo you are carrying with you. The best way to go about attacking is to wait, parry once, unload, wait, parry, rinse, and repeat. Shotgun is nice because it does a little knockback which stuns him for a while, which is nice for as long as you have ammo. Flashbangs are helpful as well as they grant you one free melee follow-up. And while he's lying on the floor, you can either slice at him, shoot him, or toss a heavy grenade or something to prolong the stun duration. Claw attack pretty predictable and fairly easy to parry once you get the hang of it. So, I got ready to parry that tail attack there, but he missed. Another claw parry into a couple of quick stabs. The only reason I'm doing stab attacks at all is because the knife I'm using is fully upgraded and should out-damage almost any pistol in the game, I believe. Not sure what that side swing was, but I got lucky and parried it by just panicking. That's another good thing about this game is that parry windows are quite forgiving, and it's not like you have to be a professional Sekiro no-hit run parry god to do well here. Whenever he does a backflip, I'm anticipating a tail stab, so either get close and crouch, or get ready to parry. Honestly, as you're watching this fight feels like it takes forever. Especially if you are in a similar position as I am. No guns, no ammo, just a lonesome bum with a couple of pocket knives strapped to his dirty old socks. At this point, I think I've said everything I needed to say. With everything out of the way, I will let you enjoy the remaining 5 minutes of the fight. Watch and learn, I guess. Present for you. There you go. Yep, we're just chilling. Still around? Yep, you don't want to be pushed to the wall in this spot because of the horrific camera angles. Simply loop around after a parry and resume the fight. To add insult to injury, this asshole also ducks away from any sort of rifle fire. So beware of wasting any of your precious shots.
Body armor's not looking great. Shit.
And there it is again. He sees rifle bullets. He dodges.
Come on.
All in all, I could have closed it out much faster if I had committed to the pistol earlier. This is by no means a showcase of an ideal run. Just my first successful attempt at killing Ramon's assassin without freezing him. If you're still around, let me take a second to thank you for watching until this point. We're nearing the home stretch as we speak. Rest in piss, you son of a bitch.
Finally, some peace and quiet. My condolences to your master.